so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
All right. Oh, my safe is full. Let's go. Let's go ahead and collect some funds real quick here on Rob's Arcade. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. And welcome back to the show. Doing something a little different here. We're going to be, are those action figures? Oh my god, that's like action figures. That's pretty dope. I didn't know about those. Going to be doing something a little different here. We're going to be doing our typical kind of like Monday show. But it's actually Monday. Typically I'll record over the weekends and kind of, decide to upload the content like on Monday and stuff like that. And it's actually, it's Monday. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's after 10:30, just before midnight here. And just hanging out, catching you guys up a little bit as we creep our way into June. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying your Monday so far. I kind of wanted to touch base, just kind of not only bring up to speed on, my job and all of that, but maybe actually even break down some history for you guys and some stuff that's been going on with me over the last month or so. You might be new to the channel, so please feel free to go back and check out some of the other videos to get some context. But I like to hang out here with you guys and just kind of chat, catch you guys up, let you know what's going on with me, and do it here in this interesting kind of like video game talk show kind of format here on GTA. If you're new to the channel, this is something that I like to do from time to time, and I kind of started doing these kind of like little testimonials and updates when I stopped drinking about 4 years ago, and started doing them more, live in front of the camera, like testimonials. But more recently, I've been doing them this way. I just like it. It's a great way to just kind of sit down and talk to you guys. And I don't know, just kind of share, some more video game stuff is kind of part of this channel too. It's like video games and comic books and fun stuff like that. I've been collecting video games and comics for, God, I don't know, the last 30 some plus years. I used to do a lot of these videos, and I would drink a lot playing video games. I gave up drinking about 4 years ago, but I still love playing video games. I still love comics, and I just love sharing this stuff with you guys. So I don't know. Hopefully you'll get something out of this if you're new to the channel. If you are new, please go ahead and subscribe, hit that like, share it, get some more people in here. And please feel free to, comment down below. I always love reading comments and just kind of, seeing what you guys have going on. If you had any like cool plans over the weekend, if you got any summertime plans, like just whatever you guys got going on, just throw it down in the comment section for me. I really appreciate it. I guess we're going to like jump into this this episode right off the bat here. I really wanted to, I think when I was looking at it over the weekend, I didn't really have a lot of time, got a new job here beginning of the month. And so I haven't really had time to kind of sit down and do some of my recordings like I typically do on Saturday afternoons and Sundays, with my schedule being a little different. But I thought about how, God, this guy's always in here. Like, dude, you never used to be in here. Like last time I was in here, he was like standing over here talking. It's like he's supposed to be working. Let's sit up here. There we go. So, 'cause I started a new job about a month ago, and I wanted to like give it a full week before jumping in here and kind of like just um, talking about a little bit, um, kind of give it a full you know 7 days before jumping in, and I've been really enjoying it. I'm not going to really talk about too much about where it is or what I do or who I work for, but I really enjoy it. It's a lot more laid back, even paced, and more manageable than my last position. Um, but I kind of wanted to jump in there and talk about that a little bit because I feel like one, it's only right to um, continue talking about my work. I did some videos on this whole subject months ago, probably close to about a year ago, as I was coming into my new role and I was kind of like weary about certain things and how things were going to pan out, my position and all of that. And as much as that seemed to work itself out and, you know, come to fruition, and as much as I liked it, it was very demanding. And, I went from dealing with like a teen program type of a thing and a lot of like teen work to dealing with more of overall like membership type things. And it's not as in depth, but I felt like I never got a chance to really do my job because I was always pulled in so many different directions being up front. Like my office was the very first office that you saw when you walked into the YMCA, and it never seemed to fail. Like I would go in to start my day and like I wouldn't get anything done. I've had a couple of conversations where I talked about like it was a little bit different when I was going into the teen program stuff. I could actually like see what it was I was doing and what I was contributing. And, it made it easy. Sometimes, man, I would go in, I would be there for like 8, 9, sometimes 10 hours a day, and I would leave and I'd be like, what did I accomplish? Like what did I get done? And a lot of times there was like really nothing to show for it. And I found myself getting like so burnt out on things that weren't even my, and I hate to say that, like not my job. Excuse me. And I'm one of those that believe like everybody has to work together and kind of pull together and, share duties and that sort of thing. But I'm talking about one of those things where like it's not my job to explain like what the internet is to people or help some mom who's got her kid signed up for soccer figure out like what her next, thing. Like my job at membership was specific duties, and I just felt like I never got a chance to do any of those things. Going with a game plan. Oftentimes, my game plan would get thrown out the window, and then a lot of other things would get thrown on top. But I was helping people, making a difference. Sometimes helping out homeless people. Sometimes helping out families from time to time, and so it was enjoyable. I did like what I was doing, um, but I mean, really, it was to get to a point where I felt like I was getting burnt out, um, and not really getting accomplished what I should be doing there. Um, and I was actually looking to take some time off. I was like, I never take any time off. I never take any vacation time. I never do that. I don't know why. I always put that off. But I wound up getting off for the whole month of May. Anyway, I wound up getting some vacation time, if you want to call it that, because the YMCA decided to let me go on the 1st of May. And I didn't really go too much into it. I didn't really talk too much about it, but I'm going to now and kind of throw it all out there because it's just such a crazy story and such a crazy thing. And really, what I've dealt with more in this isn't so much of like losing a job, but losing a friend or somebody who I thought was a friend, and I think that's something that um, just needs to get thrown out there, needs to be put out there. And I just kind of need to like walk through it and talk through it. And also, just why not go ahead and put, this person on blast. So I have a lot of friends through the YMCA, even as I was a member there, just working out. And then when I became, a team director there and then a membership director, I made a lot of friends. I knew a lot of people. Everybody seemed to come to me when they had problems or just to, talk. And I made a lot of friends with members and with staff. I was pretty well known, pretty well liked. And one of my staff, who I was really close with, I mean, we would spend evenings talking about TV shows and, um, you know, discussing things about work and joking around at work. And this person turned on me and basically got me fired. Um, and I would like to say that there was something justified in there, that maybe I was inappropriate or I did do something, but really all I ever did was like care for my staff and look after people. And this person decided to take advantage of that. Um, and it's not just like one or two people that I'm like this with my staff. I have several people that, I chat with and talk with. In fact, one of them, or that I've been pretty close with, is just messaging me now, seeing how my day went. So I'm pretty close with a lot of people that I used to work with, and this one young lady, who I knew even before the Y, back when I used to work at a restaurant. Her and her family used to come into the restaurant all the time, and I knew her dad, I knew her mom very well, knew her very well. I mean, since before COVID. And I don't want to make it sound like we ever like hung out or we ever did anything. I mean, I wasn't that close with her family, but I've known this person for quite a long time, and then found myself actually becoming her supervisor when I became the membership director. One of the branches at the YMCA closed that she was working at. She came back to work at our branch. She worked there before. Um, and this young lady and I, starting back in January, began, texting outside of work, but never anything romantic, never anything flirty. I never asked her out, never even to see if she wanted to grab some coffee or just hang out and watch TV together. Which is really funny because the YMCA like promotes like supervisors and staff hanging out, doing things, getting to know each other, celebrating birthdays. Like they promote all of these things. And, again, I have lots of friends that I used to work with, that we would chat about like Pokemon cards and things like that. And it was all the same. And I go back and I look at our messages, even trying to see if there was something like slightly flirty. And even like the stretchiest, like flirty conversations, they're just so innocent. Um, in fact, I've gone back and looked at the conversation several times, and talking with people and describing them. I want to say they're like middle school or high school type conversations, but even that, I feel like middle schoolers and high schoolers are way more graphic and adult with their conversations than what me and this young lady were sending. Named Sydney. That me and Sydney were sending, back and forth to each other. Basically stuff about like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Vampire Diaries, um, shoes and Alani suggestions, stickers, um, almost like elementary school conversations, to be honest. Like, kind of sad. I feel like if people read these, they'd be like, dude, you have like seriously, like, if you were trying to hook up with her, you have very little to no game at all. Um, but at any rate, at the end of the month towards April, she just stopped talking to me. Literally went from having a conversation one night about stickers and TV shows and stuff like that to just dead silence. And then I think she complained to me through HR, which is interesting because her mom works for HR for the YMCA. So I feel like I was just like snowballed in all of this. And that's why I kind of want to put this out there. I mean, I felt like one day I woke up, to go into work to talk to my supervisors about this staff who wouldn't talk to me anymore. And I couldn't understand why. I didn't say anything mean to her. I wasn't like like gross or I don't know. Just like I was, even called her to see if she was okay and like checked on her. Um, try to figure out if I had done something wrong. And if I had done something wrong, then, you know, let's try to figure this out. But again, there was just like, there was nothing there. Like it literally, our last conversations was about like stickers and like work stuff. And she just stopped talking to me altogether. So it really hurt. Like that was the worst part. Like, and it's just like, anybody you were friends with, who you talk to after work or after school or something like that about your favorite TV shows and your favorite video games, just all of a sudden just like turned on you for absolutely no reason. And um, so yeah, I got like sent home from work. Had to talk to HR. Spent like an hour and a half on the phone with HR, and I really felt like you know they were just going through like a checklist of things, like trying to find something wrong that I had done. And then I think when they finally found something that they could target and use, um, they really just went for it. And I think it really goes back again to like when I was talking about, the YMCA before and the realignment and moving me around. I feel like they've been doing this a lot with everybody. And there's just been a lot of stories and cases of people who have been either moved around and put into a position where they want to quit, or they're put into a position where they're kind of set up for failure, or they're just like looking for the simplest things to let people go. I feel like they fired like three sports staff recently. Um, myself, uh, there's been aquatics people that have like left. Um, it's just there's just been a lot of like people leaving and turnover, and just it's just been really crazy. And now I found myself kind of like inside of all of that, and as I start to, like I say, kind of pick it apart and look at it, it's really weird. Like it, was completely out of the blue, unwarranted, and it just hurts because like I don't want to say like I looked at this person like a sister, because again, like I don't think we were that close, but I definitely like didn't see myself like in a relationship with them. Um, Not even like the age difference. I mean, there's like a huge age difference, but not even that would really bother me. Like I said, I think it's just the fact that like I know her parents, and I've just known her for so long. Like I remember her getting her driver's license. I remember her graduating from high school, from college, and then even now, that's like she's been going out and trying to find a job in the workforce. I've been like helping her with that and being like a friend doing like job recommendations, or like what is it called, references, being a job reference for her. So yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just all very very strange, and just evil. Like I would not expect this from this person. She just seems like such a person, like, oh, I wouldn't dare you know get a traffic ticket, or I wouldn't even get a speeding ticket, but at the same time I will destroy, somebody's life. And as much as it hurt me, because it's really just hurt the community. Saying before, like, I made a lot of friends and I was well liked. And that's not me just like throwing that out there. This last month, I've had so much of an outreach and an outpour of people, even like at my new job, like coming in, talking to me, telling me how much they miss me. Members reaching out to me through Facebook. Even right now, like I'm, texting some of my ex staff, and just, we're still really close and still really good friends. And, it's just, it's sad, not only for like what she's done to me, but what she's done, to the kids at the Y. It's awful. Like the kids at the Y, they adored me, and a couple of them came into my new job today, and they're just like, "Why aren't you at the Y anymore? We miss you, and are you going to come back? And can you come back?" And it's just, I mean, it's heartbreaking. And for what? For absolutely for what? Like people love me there. I did a great job, and this is only speculation, but I think honestly it's because I didn't ask her out, or I wasn't attracted to her, or I didn't see us in that way. And I'm looking back at our messages and thinking like, well, maybe she did. Like, maybe she thought that because we would spend our evenings sometimes talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or Smallville, that we were more boyfriend girlfriend or something. And I think when she realized that maybe we weren't, and that I treat her just like everybody else and she wasn't special, that I think that's when she got upset, and then maybe got a little, vindictive, or then maybe her mom found out about it and did something. Um, I don't know. It's just all very, very strange. And then, of course, I can't find out anything from her because, she's not talking to me. So it's like I can't sit down and talk to her like an adult and just be like, what the hell was this even about? Like, what did I do something? Did I say something? Are you just fucking psycho? Did your mom think something was going on between us and decide to do something? Like, I know, like, parents can get involved in a lot of times and shit when they're not supposed to. Um, like I said, like her and her mom both working for the YMCA, I just kind of felt like I was like railroaded and just kind of like really like, thrown up on a cross. And then I found out this fucking bitch is going after and like going around talking about how she's like thinking about applying for my job. You know what I mean? It's just like it's so fucking shitty, and it's just like it's such a crazy story. It's like, I've pretty much have spent the whole month of May staying away from putting it out there and talking about it. But it's just like, no, people need to know, man. People need to know exactly what happened. That I wasn't like just let go, or I didn't just step away, or it wasn't like a mutual decision for me to leave the Y. This little girl, Sydney, that worked for me, and who I thought was my friend, um, went behind my back and, got me fired. She never talked to me. I never talked to a supervisor. I never got to find out like what happened, like what was said or what the reason was. It was just she had a problem. She went to HR, or her mom went to HR. I don't know. And within 2 or 3 days, I was terminated. I think this whole thing started on like April 28th, 29th, and by the 1st of June, they kind of much made their decision that. Um, I think the ultimate reason was because I had reached out to her through a personal email, like through my own email instead of a work email. And basically the conversation was, hey, I don't know what's going on. We need to figure this out. If I did something, I apologize, but you were like calling out. You're not answering the phone when we call you to find out what's going on. This isn't right. And then I even told her, I was like, I don't want to make this like a thing, but if you're not going to talk to me, then like I've got to go up the food chain and like, talk to my supervisors about this. And it wasn't like a threat. It's just more like, I don't want to do this. I want to try to keep this as quiet as it can be and as like unembarrassing as possible. But it was crazy. It was just really, really weird. And then was even stranger with all of that is like, there was no like straightforward communication. Like I have a counterpart there, and he's a full-time employee that also helps me run membership, and they didn't tell him anything that was going on. And it's like they don't have to give him like all the details and like all the tea, but it's like, man, you guys have to kind of let him know what's going on so he can make a game plan and kind of figure out. It's just not like, with everything going on, I had to tell him the truth. Like his supervisors were keeping so much from everybody. Like everybody thought I just left. People were just like, oh, they told me you just left, and it's just like, what? Like, you could at least say like, we had to let him go, or we can't really go into it. But it's just nothing but lies and secrecy, and you know, even on the simplest things. Like I had a friend of mine, again, who worked at the Y, bring me my belongings. I couldn't even get my stuff. I was just like sent home, and I couldn't even get my things. And then she offered to bring me my stuff, so I was like, sure, that'd be great. And um, when my old supervisors were like, hey, we'll bring you the stuff that you left in your office, I was like, don't worry about it. My friend's coming to get it. She'll be there tomorrow to pick it up. And I mean, like, she came to pick it up, and they act like I'd never said anything. Like they had no clue, like what, like what are you doing here? Picking up Robert's stuff. Who's Robert? What's good? Like it's just so stupid. Like when I was talking to her, I was like, what do you mean? Like you showed up and they acted like you didn't know what you were, like why you were there? And she was like, he acted like he had no clue. And I was like, I sent him a message yesterday. I even showed her the messages. I pulled my phone out and showed her all the messages. Like, this is what I sent him. She's like, that, it's either one of two things. Either, he's the biggest fucking idiot and he's just so fucking stupid. He can't understand a simple text message like, hey, no, so-and-so will be there tomorrow to pick my stuff up and bring it to me. Or he's a two-faced son of a bitch and a fucking liar and just doesn't have the balls to be like, oh yeah, I talked to Robert yesterday. Like, it's like he's afraid of telling the truth on it's like a little kid, like little kids lie about the stupidest fucking shit. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just, oh, I didn't know. I had no idea. Really? That's so weird. It's just like, oh. So that's what's crazy. It's like, I found another job, I walked right into a manager full-time position, didn't even have to flex for it. Just, like literally fell into it. They actually pursued me. And it was exactly what I wanted. Like, I had no time to plan or figure out my next move. But after a couple of days, I was like, I think I just want to go back to, just give me a cart to stock for a few hours, give me a couple of tasks to do, give me a couple of, like things. And that's it, man. I actually wound up finding it. But so like I said, it's not the job part isn't what bothers me, man. It's that people are just like so fucked up in this world. And for what? To the nicest people, man. You know what I'm saying? I did nothing but, this girl Sydney, I was nothing but a great friend to her. Always told her I had her back. I would never do anything to hurt her or wrong her in any way. And she did the most fucked up things you could do to anybody. It's crazy. Well, don't go anywhere. I still got more to talk about. I'm going to wrap this piece up, though, and we're going to come back with part 2 here on this Monday Motivation, here Monday night, sometime after 11:30, just before midnight. Take care of you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of each other. And until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Hope you guys find your marshmallows. Peace out.